Education is a big word. I prefer to use the word Wānanga. Wānanga is a term, as I understand it, which came from a way of seeing a relationship with the world and where you as a person fit in with that. And that is the key part. If you don't have that, you've got a disembodied robot there. So Wānanga starts with the attitude that you matter and you have a place. You have to find your place in the world, but you know you have a place. That was the whole point of Tihei, which is said when a person speaks, and it's loosely translated as the sneeze of life. But it's the acceptance that a child has to do something to participate in life. And so we could reduce it down to, you hit its bum if it doesn't open its mouth, and it gulps to yell, because its first thing is this bit of pain that happens. It has to open its mouth, and at that stage it gulps in the air, and it's a change from where it's been within its mother's womb. And if we saw that as a way, something in our lives which is a pattern which is set, that we've got to participate, willing or unwilling. And to the extent that you're unwilling in life, life will be a hindrance to you. You will see life as difficult. And really life just is. It's to be participated in. A friend in a video says, you know, you're at a picnic and it's really nice, it's sunny, the food's there, and you've got the tablecloth there and the food on it, and then it rains. And then you're all disappointed with it. Well, what happened? The tablecloth doesn't know the difference, the food doesn't know the difference. You've given something extra on the reality that's there. You've imposed this feeling on it. And now you're feeling sad, disappointed. You've added to the world. The world didn't need that. That's why you're disappointed. That's where your sadness comes from. You. It's a simple way to sort of think about it. But if we're talking about education, you've got to have a starting point by saying, what is your relationship that you need this education? We've got it reduced to you need some things done to you. But if you see it as a way of having some sort of relationship, a perspective of where you fit, education in a Wānanga sense is a time for acknowledging this. And loosely, Wānanga were done sometimes in evenings, in the night, where there was no distraction, especially with whaikōrero, where there was no other distraction. That's the key. Thinking about what is the world happening, what's with us today, that we don't seem to we don't get educated ourselves by the process of living. That's the basic thing about education, that you're a wee bit wiser than you were a couple of seconds before. What is it? We're distracted. If you go back to Wānanga where you're getting things in the dark, there's no distraction at all. You have to try and stay awake, but when you hear the chants, when you hear the words, that's all you've got to concentrate on. So that was one of ways which I've been told about, and it seems to be reliably carried, and especially within some of the chants, what they refer to in those chants, their journeys, and a lot of those more tia, which are they call them lullabies now. So the loose way of looking at learning more about yourself is learning your relationship of yourself. And when you are content with your relationship with yourself, and we can look at it as the small s, with yourself, there's a context in which the learning takes place. Most times this context is during our life. I'm not sure how much learning we do when we're not alive, so I'll go with the point of view that we learn consciously, and it requires, like the smack when we're born, it requires some effort on our part to be willingly involved, but we also learn things at times unwillingly. But do we hold on to those lessons? Think about things when you're disappointed with something. So you've learned of disappointment now at the picnic. You've learned that. You may take that attitude and not go to any more picnics just in case you're disappointed. That sums up a lot of people's attitude. They're never going to go to places where they were disappointed, i.e. love, fragile relationships, new situations. So they're never going to go there again. And really, when you think of what a letdown that is, because they are the ones who gave that feeling to the situation. It just rained and you got wet. As I say, my practical philosophy for going running or sport is, okay, you put on a polyprop. What happens if it rains? Well, the polyprop will get wet, but we'll be warm inside it and our feet will still work and we'll run along and we'll bike, but we'll probably get wet. Now, that's all that's going to happen to us. You can then impose on that, oh, that's tough, but you're imposing that on it. I look at it from the point of view, well, I enjoy doing this, I like getting out, I love feeling the elements, so we will get wet, but I'm not going to give it an emotion on that wetness. That's some of the distractions we get and why we don't get educated in our attitudes, because we're always imposing our view on the things, and they're usually in terms of feelings which come up, and we're saying that, well, this is useful, this is not useful, this is good, this is bad, and little judgments carry on all the time as we're doing things. A good education starts with an attitude that based on a relationship. If you understand where you are and have a realistic view of your smallness and your greatness, your smallness and the greatness of things, where the self fits, in a Maori way, just seeing where you fit, say, within your tribe, and how you fit within your country, and how you fit within the world, and how the world works, then you'll come home to yourself, then you'll be truly educated.